Okay, let me introduce myself. Sujata Namgoda here. I am pursuing M.Ed fourth semester. So, as a part of our internship, I am here to cover content and pedagogy of social science, third semester, unit 2. So, know what is the syllabus we have for B.Ed third semester. It's already you know that it is 2 years course. In that we have 4 semester and we are in already third semester. So, third semester, these are the 4 units. Unit 1, content of social science. Unit 2, instructional resources in social science. Unit 3, non scholastic activities. Unit 4, professional competencies of social science teacher. So, all being a teacher, especially related to the subject science. So, as of now, I am going to cover the Unit 2, instructional resources in social science. So, let us know what are the learning objectives of Unit 2. Understand the importance of characteristics of various instructional resources social science. What are the materials we can use to make the subject more interactive, informative, and effective? So, critically analyze textbooks for their suitable and effectiveness. Identify and appreciate the value of library resources in social science teaching. Recognize and utilize community resources to enrich social science learning experiences. Explore and effectively integrate e learning resources into our teaching methodologies. Comprehend the meaning and significance of audiovisual resources in the teaching learning process. Develop practical strategies for incorporating a diverse range of instructional resources in our future social science classrooms. So let us know what are the subunits are there in Unit 2, instructional resources in social science. 2.1, it is all about textbook, importance of textbook, characteristics and critical analysis of textbook pertaining to social science. 2.2, it deals with library resources, especially newspapers, books, encyclopedias, reference books, journals, and magazines. So, their importance in teaching of social science. Coming to the next subunit, that is 2.3, that is community resources, human and natural resources, physical resources, economical resources, historical, man made, and school based resources, their meaning, importance, and use of all the above in teaching and learning process of social science. Then coming to 2.4, e-learning resources. So here we learn about how our media can help us betterment of teaching social science. That is internet, how we can make use of it, and web-based tools, blogs, animations, and multimedia to make learning more easier and effective. So 2.5 subunit deals with audiovisual resources. So, what are audiovisual resources, their meaning and importance in teaching learning process? So, these are the sub units we are going to cover in coming days. Before we go ahead with all this, so let's have an introductory class today. So, in introductory class, we can cover what do we know about the subject social science and what it deals with. Yes, anybody? What is this subject deals with? How is it different from other subjects?
And it deals with society,
Okay. Yes, that's correct. It deals with,
man and their relationship with the society, ma'am.
yes, very good, correct.
Learning of past, ma'am,
Yes, that's right. Learning about past and connecting with the present.
and learning about nature
Yes, exactly. That's true.
and about our government
Yes,
law,
that's true. Political
economic
principles.
activities.
Yes, true. In economic subject, we'll come across what are the activities man do to earn his livelihood. True. So meanwhile, we'll explore together. So always I come across something called social science and social studies. What do you feel are the difference between these two? What is social science and what do you mean by social studies? Are they same or any differences are there? What do you feel? Are they same? there is no right or wrong. You just can give me what is your understanding. So we'll learn it together. What comes to your mind? Are they same or different? Have you heard these, or only one social science, or only social studies you have heard about?
Ma'am, I feel they are interrelated, ma'am.
They are interrelated. Okay. Do we find any differences or no differences at all, or they are just synonym for each other? Okay. So let's teaching in the schools and all we come across. Well, ma'am, what is the difference? Because till late we refer a textbook called social studies, and all of a sudden now when we enter the ninth standard, we see that it is called social science. So what is the difference? So being a teacher or going to be a teacher, so let's understand all this in detail. So let me begin the introduction.
Social science is a branch of study which deals with human beings, their behavior, growth and development, relationships, resources they use, and the various institutions they require to function and carry on their lives smoothly. For example, family, school, workplace, government, judiciary, recreation clubs, etc. All these aspects of life are interrelated and interdependent on one another. So, whether one wants to become a doctor or an engineer or a chartered accountant, an artist or a teacher, we all have to live in a society, interact with individuals belonging to different culture and socio-economic backgrounds, adapt to various situations and circumstances, and also adhere to certain societal norms in order to lead a peaceful and productive life. The inclusion of social studies in the curriculum right from primary to secondary classes signifies the importance of the subject and the role it plays in a student's life. Social studies is incorporated in the school curriculum through a combination of subjects like history, geography, cultural studies, economics, political science, etc. Development is a multidimensional phenomenon in social science. Some of its major dimensions include the level of economic growth, level of education, level of health services, degree of modernization, status of women, level of nutrition, quality of housing, distribution of goods and services, and access to communication. Let's know the difference between social studies and social science. Focus. Social studies is a broad interdisciplinary study of people, societies, and culture with a goal of preparing students for citizenship and understanding their place in the world. Social science focus is systematic scientific study of human society and behavior using research methods in understanding social phenomenon. Content of social studies includes subjects like history, geography, civics, economics, and other incorporates elements of sociology, anthropology, and psychology in a broader sense. Whereas in social science, the content includes specialized disciplines like sociology, economics, political science, anthropology, psychology, and history. Levels typically taught in primary and secondary schools. Social science typically studied at the college and university level. Example for social studies: a social studies lesson might explore the causes of a historical event, the geography of a region, or the working of a democratic government. Social science example is a social science research project might investigate the impact of social media on political attitude, the causes of economic inequality, or the cultural practices of a particular group.
And coming to the next topic, that is our instructional resource. I hope no doubt in different studies and social science, a bit of it you might have got. So, what do we understand by the word instructional resources? Anybody, what does that mean? Because the entire topic is dealing with the instructional resources in social science. So, first of all, we should understand what does that mean? Instructional resources mean. It's a very simple term.
Study material, ma'am. Study
Exactly.
material.
Very good. Very good. Yes. the material we use to teach any subject is called instructional resources. To instruct, to teach, to deliver our content, our concept, what do we need is what we talk about instructional resources. The alternate name can be teaching aids, is the most commonly used word. So instructional material. So you will be going for internship to schools. You will be using a lot more resources. So just can you give me example what can be the instructional resources to teach social science? You can take branch wise. Tell me what can be used for history, geography, economic, and political science, or else as a general you can tell me example for instructional resources.
Math.
Maps,
Yes, yes,
map,
very good, very good.
globe,
Globes,
globe.
yes, that's true.
And your pictures.
Yes, correct. Pictures, newspaper articles, photographs, charts. So what am I using over here? Can that be also? I'm taking the class for you. I'm using some resource or not?
Yes,
PPT,
ma'am.
Yes,
presentation.
yes, exactly. So this is what instructional resources. So PowerPoint presentation I am using here. That is also resource. So let me quickly read out what is the definition of instructional resource. So I hope it is clear to you, but as a formal, I'll read out to you this. Instructional resources, also known as instructional materials, are any tools or materials used by a teacher or educator to facilitate the teaching and learning process. These resources can be anything from textbooks and workbooks to online videos and software. They are essential for conveying information, engaging students, and promoting effective learning. So when we look at the example for this, so there are number of examples. You can have a look at these images. These all are example for our teaching social science, resources for teaching social science. That is textbooks, that is audio visual devices are there, charts are there, graphs are there, map is there, globe is there. So these all are going to help us to convey our content or concepts in a better way.
The next topic we are going to talk about is importance of instructional resources. Why do you feel instructional resources are important in delivering social science? Do you feel instructional resources are necessary?
Yes, ma'am. For
Easy to understand. Easy to understand.
a better teaching and learning process.
Yeah, easy to memorize.
Okay. Yes, very good, correct. Imagine what could I do not use this PPT, just I could have delivered it without using.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Some they observe and learn, some learn, some when they do it, when they involve and learn. So we have a different learners in the classroom. Then obviously we have to use different materials to tackle the different learning style of the student. So let's have a look at there is one image here. So, what do you feel is the difference between these two images? Figure 7.1 and figure 7.2. What do you feel is the difference?
Picture of the rabbit is displayed, so it is easy for the student to look and do it. And so, like, it's a visual image is given to them, so it will be better for them to understand instead of giving the lecture method.
Okay, exactly. Very true.
That the learner will be more enthusiastic and willing to learn in second figure. Let us know why is that so? It is because the picture of rabbit in the second figure will help the child to learn how rabbit looks and draw its picture. The picture of rabbit is a type of teaching learning material about which you will study in this section. Teaching learning materials, that is, instructional resources, are therefore tools which are used by teachers to help learners to learn concept with ease and efficiency. Instructional resources have been in existence in our educational system since ancient times. The role of instructional materials in the classroom are to make learning real, practical, and fun for children. Teachers use instructional materials to illustrate, or reinforce a skill, fact, or idea. Instructional resources also help in bringing novelty and freshness in classroom teaching as it relieves learners from anxiety, fear, and boredom. Teaching learning materials provide a range of learning experiences to learners from direct to indirect.
So here we can just understand the importance of instructional resources. So can you read what is written here on the image? I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. So this is a quote by Confucius. What does that mean?
Whatever the hand does, mind remembers, like that something.
Yeah. You just sit and listen. I don't know whether you have observed, many of you might be already teaching in the school. Imagine the entire day and listening to. Do you feel that whatever we are conveying, whatever we are teaching, those 40 minutes or 35 minutes, is it the child to just hear and remember in a longer run?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Forget the yeah, forget longer run. Even if you ask at the end of the class also, few students will not be able to answer. Suppose if you involve them in the learning process, if you let them do something and explore themselves and experience, so that's what we talk about, experiential learning. So child definitely remember it for longer term. So it is very important for us to use the different instructional resources, different materials to make learning a joyful and memorable forever.
Purpose or importance of instructional resources. Instructional resources are used to enhance the learning of students in classrooms. A teacher uses it to make teaching learning active, effective. Instructional resources also help learners achieve the learning outcomes after classroom teaching and learning. Some of reasons to use instructional resources are of various types. First one is motivate learners. Capturing attention is the first step to any learning materials help in capturing the attention of learners in classroom. Once motivated to look at resources, the children are curious to learn new things. They provide a variety of stimuli which helps in making classroom teaching most effective. Second point is help in longer retention of information. So when you students just sit and listen, they never ever remember. Just that moment they may remember and forget. So when we use effective instructional resources or teaching materials, so that is going to help a lot to retain information for longer run. The more the number of sensory channels involved in interacting with resources, the longer will be the retention of information. Therefore, the learning will be effective and will last longer. Third one is facilitate holistic learning. You have read about Bloom's taxonomy of objectives. Learning objectives to be achieved through classroom teaching are in all domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Therefore, to achieve varied objectives, varied learning experiences need to be provided, which can be done through the use of effective instructional resources. Fourth point is help in organizing classroom teaching. As a teacher, you need to organize learning experiences, making them as realistic as possible. You can use visual or verbal resources to present accurate data in sequential organized manner. This helps in teaching verbal and visual communication in classroom. Thus, you may use resources to overcome shortcomings in verbal and visual communication. Fifth one is facilitate change in attitude. Resources help in changing attitude of learners towards learning in general and subject content in particular. Picture models and other resources help in inculcation of positive attitude of learners. You can use the different materials and observe in your own class. The reaction of the student matters a lot. It will tell you all about their understanding and joy of learning. Making learning fun. Instructional resources help in making learning fun in the classroom. Students enjoy the novelty of handling new objects and learn new concepts through them. So I have tried it many times. It has worked out and definitely works for you as well. Next one is concept formation. Teaching learning materials or instructional resources facilitate the formation and attainment of concepts among children. They, they understand the concepts and not resort to rote learning. Therefore, use of resources in classroom teaching is an essential aspect about which you should focus your attention while designing and developing your lesson. So there are variety of teaching learning materials to choose from depending on the context, level of learners and availability. In tomorrow's session we are going to learn each one of them in details.
Coming to next one more important here, selecting instructional resources. How can we select which is the best for that particular concept of the content? What matters? Select the instructional resources. For example, some of you said map. So can I use map for everything? Can I use for economics? Can I use it for political science? If so, in what sense I can use? So what resource to use to convey which concept? So it depends on what other aspect it depends on. Can you just put your insights over here? So on what basis we can select the instructional resource or material?
Ma'am, if we are teaching geography, we can use maps and globes, ma'am.
Yes,
Same wise, if we are teaching history, we can show the kings and queens pictures or that particular region's pictures to the students.
yes, correct. The example what you have given is
Whatever example you have given, why we have to choose that particular resource. For example, you said that geography map while teaching history, the picture of a king or the queen. Won't you feel this is to align with the learning objectives? So let us find out what are those aspects we look at when we have to choose the particular instructional resources. The first thing we should remember is learning objectives. What are our learning objectives set for the students? The chosen material should align with the specific learning goals of the lesson. Student characteristics. Consider the student's age, level of learning, that is, whether they are in grade 3 or grade 5 or grade 8 or grade 10. So, which level they are. Accordingly, we have to choose our materials. Then prior knowledge. What do they know already about? Learning style of the learner and interest of the learner. And third point is content suitability. Ensure the content is accurate, relevant, and appropriate for the targeted audience. So, whom we are teaching, it should relate to them. Next one is environmental factors. Consider the classroom environment, including viability, technology, and resources, the classroom setup, and the visibility of the resources, whether it is a larger classroom or smaller classroom, what kind of resources we are going to use accordingly matters a lot. Then very important is cost and availability. So whatever materials we are using should be cost effective and most efficient. Factor in the cost of the materials and their accessibility do matter. Next factor is ease of use. The teaching materials or the resources we are using should be easy to handle both for the teacher point of view and the student point of view. Next one is learner participation and feedback. Encourage active participation and allow for opportunities for students to provide feedback. Such materials we have to choose and use. When you use different teaching materials or instructional resources, you will understand whether that is effective or not just by the reaction of the students after your teaching is done. Observe that and understand whether was that effective or not. If effective, use it, otherwise modify it. Then authenticity and interest. Choose the materials that are authentic and engaging, capturing the student's interest. Otherwise, it just becomes for the namesake we are using the resources.
You will also understand in the other way as well. Student, when they won't enjoy, won't learn, so that reaction also you will get to know. You need not orally ask them, just with their observation, their reaction itself is enough to understand whether my materials, what I am using in the class, are joyful or not.
So, make use of the resources wisely.
So, if you come across any other points, you are free to express. Are there anybody here already teaching in the school? Yeah, any materials or your experience, which material you used, and what was the reaction of the students, if you can share with. Most common material, what is that we use regularly? Yes, exactly. Textbook we use. Then charts. What about our board and chalk piece? Are they also a resource?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, definitely they are. So they are the most common. Most common are textbooks. Common are blackboard or green board, whatever you have, or whiteboard. It can be chalk piece or marker. So they are our most commonly used instructional resource. So it is left to us, being a teacher, how we make it more interesting and joyful for our learners. So that interest, what we create in the lower grades, will be carrying on to their higher grades as well. So we have to use these all resources very wisely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, text exactly, because where I have seen few of in the lower grades, they usually when they come to our class, they keep open textbook, and first thing what I do is close your textbook, keep inside, read at home. That's not a good habit of using textbook for the core subject, as ma'am said. It is right. Please don't use a textbook in the classroom to open. Yeah, you can refer the textbook. Where else, if you don't have any map, yes, if a map is there in the textbook, if they have to go through. Exercise, when you are talking about, you can open, ask them to open the textbook and use. If any images you are talking about, yes, you can use the textbook. But when you are conveying the concept of particular, so please don't use textbook.
Why we should not use, ma'am, open textbook for core subjects?
If you have certain concept you are teaching and you will ask question, what do? Immediately they look at the textbook and they will answer you. But their thinking and their ability of understanding will not develop. So you can try with, if you are using textbook already, you try without using textbook. So I hope you will find the difference definitely. That's for the day. So if any doubt, let me know. Otherwise, we'll continue. I hope I am able to reach out to you